Hello, everyone. Pat Down at MMA back with another DWCS breakdown. Last one of week 6. I know I said I would get 5 out for this week, and I finally was able to get 5 out for a week. So I'm happy I kept that commitment to myself. But we got some lightweight action here in week 6. Dylan Mantello versus Ahmed Hassanzada. We're gonna kick things off with Dylan Mantello here. Long Island's Dylan Mantello. He's 6'1". He trains out of Law MMA. He is a DWCS vet. He fought Kainan Khrushchevsky on last season of DWCS, lost that fight via first round submission, but he has been there before. He has finishes in 7 of his 8 wins. He has 5 knockouts and 2 submission wins. He has an 8-3 record overall. Not the prettiest record, but he is exciting. He's a very fun fighter. He likes to stand on the feet and strike. He does get hit a lot, though, especially in the pocket. That's the one thing about Mantello that we don't love is that he gets hit a lot. That's part of his game. He just loves to brawl. He's always willing to throw hands, and he does get hit as part of it. He has some great kicks, especially to the body. He has finished fights with kicks to the body before, and he loves throwing that left kick to the body. He also loves throwing that right hand, especially that hook to the body. He loves to dig that in there, and that is a weapon you'll see him constantly throw in his fights, is that right hand to the body. But he also has the power to headhunt with that right hand and put people out with it. He does have some very sneaky power. That's one thing about Mantello. You notice as you watch him, his power doesn't show the way you think it does, but when he connects with people, you see the reactions. He very much has some good power. He loves to be on the front foot, loves to be constantly pressuring, putting on the pace. He does have a solid chin, but he can be wobbled, he can be dropped. It's not something that hasn't happened in his fights before, but his chin is very strong. It is very hard to knock Dylan Mantello out or even drop Dylan Mantello. He just leaves his chin out there to be touched too often. His knees are incredible. His flying knees, especially. He finished his last fight with a incredible flying knee over Nate Williams, and his knees in general are just a very nice tool. He's a longer fighter, so he knows how to use his knees well. He does struggle with pressure though. Mantello does struggle on the feet when people like to put that pace on him. When Mantello's on his back foot and he's not pushing that pace on his front foot, he's usually struggling. And when guys are putting that pressure on him, especially with the striking and the wrestling, when they mix it well, he's just a bit susceptible. He can be beaten and controlled in the clinch. He does lose minutes in the clinch at times. He also can win them in the clinch, but vice versa, he can lose to better wrestlers just being held in the clinch. He actually does have a very nice body lock takedown. He does use it very effectively, and he does have some solid takedowns overall with some pretty solid top control. Nothing generational, but just solid overall. I don't love his takedown defense, but he does have some solid reversals and submissions on off of his back, and he transitions to those submissions very effectively. He has some good arm bars. He has some good chokes. He has some very solid submissions. Nothing, like I said, nothing mind blowing. That's the thing with Mantello. Nothing he does really blows your mind, but he just does a bunch of things effectively, and he's fun. He's very fun. He's an well-rounded fighter, but he definitely has his flaws about him. So Ahmad Hassanzada, he is a team alpha male fighter. He's from Afghanistan. He's 6'3". He's finished 10 of his 11 fights, 5 by KO, 5 by sub, so a nice split down the middle. He uses his length very well. Oh, he's also a DWCS vet. Forgot to mention. He did have a fight on DWCS to Nazim Sadikov. He lost in the third round via knockout. That was in 2023 or 2022, I want to say. Two guys with DWCS experience facing off here. He uses his length very well. He has some very good kicks. He uses his teeps a lot, especially to the head. He likes to throw the front kick, the teep to the head, and it really catches his opponents off guard. It's a very good range tool. He's very solid off of his back. He has a very slick submission game. He's always threatening it. He has arm bars, he has leg locks, he has chokes. He's a full package in terms of jujitsu. He has a great jujitsu game, and I like his BJJ on top. I like his BJJ off his back. And the 6'3" build gives him some very slippery submissions because he can kind of get his legs out up there and he's very long. So he gets in very good positions on the ground. That's one thing I like about his ground game is he always gets into good positions on top. Knows how to get into the dominant position very easily. He has some really good takedowns, especially against the cage. If he has his arms locked and he has you against the cage, he's going to be bringing you down most of the time. And he is pretty heavy on top. He has some solid control. His striking defense overall, though, is similar to Mantello's, where it's just bad. It's even worse than Mantello's, I can't lie, because his chin isn't good. he gets caught doing stupid things constantly. He runs into counters, especially when he's looking to swarm. But even at range, he's getting caught. Just constantly being dropped. He was dropped in the first round of his last three fights and hurt in the fourth one before that in the first round very badly to the body. So he just constantly is getting dropped. You can rely on him probably getting dropped in the first round in this fight. And he's always getting touched by kicks. I mean, he's usually at range. He likes to stay at range, but then he ends up falling to brawls. I mean, he's just it's just tough with Hassanzada sometimes. But for some more positives, he uses his ground and pound well to advance positions on the ground, and he will always find the comeback. No matter what, like he's never out until the fight is actually over. If the fight is still going, there's a chance that Hassanzada will come back, no matter how bad it looks in that moment. So you can never really count him out. For my prediction for this fight, I'm so split, honestly, because I really, like, in the nicest way possible, I just don't think either of these guys are going to succeed in the UFC. And I'm not sure which one is going to succeed in this fight, even, honestly. Mantello is probably the better striker. He probably has the better weapons on the feet, but Hassanzada is just he's dangerous on the ground and he has decent weapons on the feet himself. I mean, they both work. It's kind of like a mirror match where they're both good on in one area, but then both solid enough in the other. I don't know. Neither of their cardio is bad or good. It doesn't stand out to me. This is a very close fight. I'm it's hard to make a prediction here. I'm leading Mantello by KO in the first round or Hassanzada by sub later on in the fight, late round two or late round three, something like that. But it's just a very tough one to pick, honestly. I don't want to say any pick here with confidence, but I think I'm gonna lean Mantello round one KO because, like I just said, he has that sneaky power, and Hassanzada is always getting caught. The thing is, I can see Mantello dropping Hassanzada in the first round, following up for a finish, and getting caught in a submission, and then losing via submission in the first round. So I'm just so uncomfortable with my pick for this fight. I just want that to be known before the fight actually happens. So we're only a couple hours away, so I guess we'll see how it goes. I wanted to thank all of you for tuning in and watching my latest DWCS breakdown. We'll be back for next week's breakdown soon. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have a great one.